students of University of Cape Coast who filed nomination to contest for SRC local news positions. This is for 2023-2024 academic year. My name is Louise Bekwini. You can call me the PDF. And this is TV UCC. If you have not subscribed to our channel, this is the time, huh? Subscribe to our channel. Hit on the notification icon so that you get alert on what we're doing here. And I know there's someone who wants to watch this. So share the content for the world to get to know what we are doing here. We are at Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman Auditorium at Emisi Arthur Language Center here on the land of the University of Cape Coast. So if you are around, you can also join us. And remember that intermittently I would be reading your messages. So leave them at the comment section below and we would highly appreciate that. That would prompt us that you're part of us. You know what I'm talking about. A quick one before the chairman takes over. Boache Anthony, I have this one. Na, in name self, the deniam. It means na, right? Benjamin, na is very good and I admire her. Samuel, do Jemfi Savula, na is very good. Cecilia Apia, this year's writing is like PDF invigilating you at LLT. What has that got to do with this one? And he continued to say that na is lying about the bullion van issue. Obidum B. Felix, how can you put Microsoft in your CV but know nothing about it? We and Brand Keddy. Kudos, TV UCC. You're doing well. Thank you, Brand. Oh, game comes in with this. Esther. Okay, Esther Obain is smart and she knows what she's doing. I'm so glad for her. How she asked the panelists to explain the question shows that the lady is confident. You can do same. Leave your comment there and I would come your way again to read it. Stay with us. I'm handing over to the chairman to continue the vetting. This time we're going to see students who filed to contest for SRC Treasurer this afternoon session. You're welcome. Chair.
Thank you very much, PDF. Welcome to the afternoon session of the 2023-2024 academic year vetting of the SRC local Nugs nominees. We just finished with the morning session. This afternoon session would look at vetting nominees for the position of SRC treasurer. And on the panel, Miss Olivia, Miss Jemfua, all to my right, Enoch, Francis, Emanuela, Matthew, and then to my immediate left, Professor Mrs. Rebecca Daimensa, followed by Abigail, Isaac, Selom, Rich Love. Then we also have the Senior Assistant Registrar at the Office of the Dean of Student, Dublin, as the Secretary. My name is Professor Samuel Isian Bedu, and I'm your chair. If you're watching us live on TV, UCC, would appreciate it if you leave your comments in the comment section. You can also share the link with your friends and other relations so you can follow updates from this session and also know your candidates or aspirants. We want to encourage as many people as can join us at the Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman Auditorium to do so whilst we go through this vetting. Let me also use the opportunity to welcome all of you to this afternoon's session. I have only one rule. Whilst you are here, please keep your phone on silent. That is number one. Number two, we would appreciate that you also would keep quiet and not attempt to whisper the responses to questions that nominees are asked. If you do so, we would have no option than to disqualify the nominee and continue with the process. So while you're here, keep your phone on silent and then try as much as you can to keep quiet and allow the nominees go through the process. So once again, you are welcome. We'll begin the afternoon session shortly. If Mr. Anthony Yeboah is ready, we can invite him in and then we'll continue.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Anthony. Kindly state your full name, your index number, and the reason why you're here.
Thank you, the chair. My name is Anthony Yabua, a level 300 student, reading Bachelor of Education, Mathematics, and Accounting. I'm a young, vibrant, with registration number ET, Mat 200206. A young, vibrant, and a strategic leader with progressive leadership experience embodied with intangibles of passion, character, discernment, and servant to students' leadership. I am here to be vetted for the office of Ucc Treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. So we'll take turns in the next couple of minutes to interact with you. At any point in time, if you feel tensed and you want us to slow down, you let us know. You have a bottle of water also in front of you. I'm sure, okay, you have a pen and then something to write on. Right. So we'll take turns and go through a few of the questions with you and wish you well.
Thank you.
Hello, Anthony. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, the chair.
You are welcome.
Thank you, Mom.
You are looking smart.
Thank you.
I hope your answers will be smart.
Sure.
I don't like your CV. That's the first thing. It doesn't have a title, and you have a very your name is really boldly written, overly boldly written. We don't have a personal data apart from your house number, phone number, and email. The other details are not there. Then you have something you call your personal statement stroke profile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines. And I don't know what you are going on about. You are level 300, reading mathematics and accounting, doubles up as this. All the experiences. Instead of having a session for, of course, you have a session for work experience. So I don't know why you lumped those 9 lines of whatever there. Things about your leadership, your character. Everything is lumped there. And I find that very worrying. So if I were going to call you for, if this was to have been a job appointment, I wouldn't have called you for an interview. Because I don't want to know who did this. It must be sexier and nicer than this. This is, why? You didn't show it to anybody to help you.
Thank you, the chair. Please, I did.
You did?
Yes,
and that
madam.
was the best. That was the best you could get from it. Your margins are bad. In fact, this is the worst if you have seen this morning. The margins are bad. I don't know why you were trying to expand everything. And it's not exciting to read. You have a lot of information there, I must be honest with you. But it's wrongly placed and, I'm sorry, it's not good. It's not looking good as you are looking. So in future, you've got to work on that. And if we look at your educational background, you wrote 2021. Okay. Is it because you've not completed? That's why. So you could have written to date or something, but you just wrote 2021 and then you left the rest. And then you have something like program reading, program read. I don't know what that means. Explain it. What is program reading? Program read.
Thank you, the chair. The program reading is the program that I'm currently reading in the university, and the program read is under the SHS, which
there's nothing like next time, don't write that. Just write the program under it.
Thank you, the chair.
That is why you would date it as 9th June 2021 to date. So we all know that you are reading that program. So those, in fact, your CV, no. You are talking. You are deputy financial secretary.
Yes, the chair.
Tell me about that.
Okay, thank you, the chair. Just as I indicated in the CV, I'm currently the deputy financial secretary for Church of Pentecost Mount Zion in Mori. What I do basically is that I assist my main financial secretary to take records of the money that we get during church service. So what we do, we have 3 documents that we record the money. The first one is called DOB, that's daily offering book. The second one is the receipt, and the last one is the PV. So all the money that we get during the church service, we record it in the DOB first, then we receipt it. So Pentecost is structured in the way that when you get the money, you take LD of your local developmental fund. That one comes to the assembly. So when we take it, then we have to pay the tithe to the district. That is what we write is in the PV. Then we take it to the district, and the district will lodge it in the bank for us. Thank you.
So listen to this statement you wrote. I was specifically the one depositing the money until school resumed. Then I left. What is that supposed to mean? Did you resign or you came to school? So when you go back from school, you go and continue.
Thank you, the chair. I think there was an error over there. I wanted to say that when I was around, I was the one depositing the money. So until I left, then someone took over.
There are so many errors. Some have initial caps, others don't. And, I didn't go to SHS, so you have to educate me. You stated that you were assigned to teach in a particular school, and the topics you taught, even the taught is THOUGH, which should be TAUGHT. The topics I taught include set and start. What is that?
Set and set.
Spell the set.
Thank you. The set is SURD. Says.
And what is that?
So set is a topic in mathematics that deals with square roots. So it does a breakdown of square roots. Then we come to we have the binomial of sets and the others as well.
You have a lot of experience, but the way you have lumped it all together, it's very difficult to handle it. But I'm wondering, you are the deputy secretary for the church.
Yes, madam.
At Mori.
Yes, madam.
And you are the financial secretary.
Yes, please.
And then you are also, so you are deputy church secretary, you are financial secretary, you are a choir master, or the choir master was earlier.
No, it's SHS.
So currently you are the deputy church secretary to the church.
Yes, the chair.
And then you are financial. Why? You don't have people in your church.
That's thank you, the chair. I think Mount Zion Assembly made up of people who are grown, and because it's at coastal area, we have most of our numbers or our members, I don't want to say illiterate, but they cannot actually write. So we are making use of the students around. So sometimes we give people 2, 3 positions depending on your capabilities and what the church think you can do for them. Thank you.
Because, so what's the difference between the Mori District, Mount Zion, and the Mount Zion Assembly?
It is Mori District. So the district is the Mori, and Mount Zion is an assembly, so it is under Mori.
So you are the financial secretary for the district or for where?
For the assembly, Mount Zion Assembly.
You have not tried. You have not tried for me at all. So in the choir, you used to teach them songs, right?
Yes, the chair.
Do you sing? Or you just taught them songs? You didn't sing?
I do sing.
Okay, so sing something for us. Today nobody have sang. So sing something for us, and then we'll move on from there.
Thank you, the chair. All right. So I'm singing Blessed Assurance. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine, hail of salvation, purchase of God, born of his spirit, washing his blood. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long.
Thank you very much. But please, there's too much noise in the hall, and kindly hold on to the applause until we are done. I am begging you. Hold on to all the applause and let us finish, please.
Again, thank you very much.
You're welcome,
the references, I'm telling you again, it should be referees, not references, referees. And then with your referees, one, you brought name, and then you had the name and the department. The other one is naked. You didn't bring any preamble. So these are things that you have to watch. But you sing well, but your CV did not do you good. So next time you do it well. We'll come back to you.
Thank you, the chair.
Yes, before we make progress, you said you did the CV yourself.
Yes, sir, please.
So under skills, I see a different font, and then compared to the rest of the CV. Did you copy that part from somewhere?
No, please. Say, initially I wanted to do it only 2 pages, but I got to a time and realized the two would
I
just
am talking
be
about the difference in font.
That's what, the chair, that's what I'm saying, that initially I wanted to do it 2 pages. So I wanted to change some of the font to make it 2, but I realized 2 make it look somehow. So
Educate me on that. How do you change fonts and use multiple fonts to shorten the length of your CV?
Thank you, the chair. I think when you have a CV or when you have a word, they want to change in the font, you have to highlight it. Then you change the number of the font. So when you make it smaller, like 12, let me say 8. 8 is smaller than that of 12.
So you're talking about the same font but different size.
Yes, please.
But that is not what I am referring to. Your CV has Times New Roman and then has Calibri as well. So there are different fonts here. And what it suggests is that you probably copied the skills from somewhere and then you pasted it, because the fonts look totally different from the rest of the CV.
No, please.
So what are your skills?
My skills.
Yes.
Okay.
What skill set?
Okay, thank you, the chair. I'm a team player, industrious, committed, and goal-driven person. Thank you.
You are a team player, you're committed, you're goal-driven, and you are industrious. So who is an industrious person?
Thank you, the chair. When you say someone is industrious, what I mean is that the person is hard work, the person is diligent in his approach, and the person will do everything possible to achieve the set goals. Thank you.
Hard work, diligent, do everything possible, including cutting corners.
No, the chair. Everything legally and morally possible to achieve the set goals. Thank you.
Interesting. And you currently serve as the financial secretary of the church.
Yes, please.
Do you still hold that position?
Thank you, the chair. As I indicated, we have 2 people. I'm the deputy, so my main is taking over.
So, before you came to school, you mentioned PVs. PVs.
Yes,
you said
please.
you were keeping PV. What's a PV?
So, thank you, the chair. A PV is a document that records money paid to someone, let me say organization. So when you're going to buy something as a church, what we do is that maybe you want to purchase a new microphone. So you go and purchase, then come and record it in your PV. The thing that you purchase, the amount for each and the total amount. So you have a column for date, a column for description, then amount as well. Thank you.
So I see that you've been doing a lot of purchases, right? What is the newest tax that was approved by Parliament?
Thank you, the Chair.
You've been following the news?
Thank you, the Chair. Yes, please.
Okay.
The Chair, we have Income Tax Administrative Bill, Exercise Duty Administrative Bill, Goods and Sustainability Administration Bill. Thank you.
The newest one.
The newest one. The 3 new ones that have been approved by Parliament.
Okay, we'll come back.
Thank you.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, the Chair.
Please, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, the Chair. Thank you.
I'm also fine. So my question is on entrepreneurship. Okay. Do you believe that students should be entrepreneurs?
Yes, the Chair.
Okay, so to your substantive question. Since commercial activities in the university is strictly prohibited, okay, how do you advocate that students should become entrepreneurs?
Thank you, the Chair. Thank you. Commercial activities in the university is prohibited, just as you said. But as a student, I believe that just as the government is trying for everybody to at least do something for himself or herself to survive, that is the entrepreneurship. On campus, if you want to engage in any buying and selling, I think you need to follow the right procedure. You need to register for your company to be registered so that you can operate on campus. Other than that, whatever that you do is illegal. Thank you.
Okay, so a follow-up. So those who are selling on their WhatsApp status that you have been promoting, do you think they've registered their businesses on campus?
Thank you, the Chair. From where I sit, I can see maybe some have registered, maybe some have not.
Okay, so that's a good attempt, but I was looking out for you trying to organize more entrepreneurship seminars, okay, for students to advertise their products and services to the university body so that those even outside the university can come and purchase. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Anthony.
Yes, the Chair.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine. How about you?
Good.
Thank
So
you.
to your question, how would you seek additional financial resources for the SRC through fundraising and sponsorship?
Thank you, the Chair. First of all, seeking help from outside per the constitution of the school is illegal. SRC cannot go outside the school to seek help or sponsorship. But what they have to do is that they have to write through the Dean of Students.
Wait. Take your time. Which document says that it is illegal to seek for sponsorship outside? Or which regulation states that it is illegal for the SRC to seek for sponsorship outside the university?
Thank you, the Chair. I cannot remember the exact page, but I read it somewhere that if the SRC wants to, if any student wants to engage anybody outside the school, that person has to pass the right procedure. That has to pass through the Dean of Students.
So, but that does not make it illegal. Please, the gallery, please allow us to interact with the candidate, please. The fact that you have to go through the channels to get it done means that it is legal, but you have to go through the process. So if you say something is illegal, it means that it's forbidden. You cannot do it at all. But from your explanation, what I get is that you can do that, but you have to go through certain processes. So I'll need you to choose your words carefully.
Thank you, the chair.
Because you are going to be dealing with money. Is that okay?
Yes, the chair.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's make progress.
Okay, the question again. How would you seek additional financial resources for the SRC through fundraising and sponsorship?
Thank you, the chair. So, what you have to do is that you as an SRC cannot subline the Dean of Students, then you go there yourself. But you have to write through the Dean of Students and the purpose for the sponsorship. So you wait for approval. Until then, you have patience. Then when you get approval, then you proceed to approach the organization that you want to. Thank you.
Okay. Per what I have here, through campus events, you can raise funds for the SRC through campus events, alumni networks, writing sponsorship proposals to companies outside the school, and targeting local businesses.
Thank you.
So that's a satisfactory for me.
Tony Yeboah,
The chair.
how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing great. So, as the senior treasurer of the SRC, when your president takes money from you for his presidential duties and then he does not bring you receipts, and then when you ask him about the receipt, he tells you that he is the president and then does not have to answer to you, what would you do?
Thank you, the chair. The treasurer and the SRC president and the others form one administration. So should in case it happens that the SRC president does not want to be accountable to you or does not want to do what is supposed to be done, what you have to do as a treasurer is that you have to talk to him. You have to talk to him to be...
What if you talk to him and then he doesn't listen to you?
So you have to talk to him. When the issue is not solved, then you move on to the Dean of Students. Thank you.
Okay. Do you believe you have executive board of the SRC?
Yes, please.
And do you believe the executive board can also talk to the SRC president?
Yes, the chair. So you talk to the executive board about it. If the issue is not resolved, then move to that of the Dean of Students.
And then, are you the senior treasurer of the SRC?
For the SRC, the senior treasurer is Dean of Students.
But that was what I said first, and then you went ahead and then proceed. Okay, so your answer is satisfactory, but not that good enough.
Thank you.
Mr. Anthony.
The chair.
Yeah. From your leadership experience in your CV, you are the public relation officer, that is for internal and external affairs, of the 5th Parliamentary Council of Casford, right?
Yes, sir.
So I expect you to know a lot about parliamentary proceedings. Okay. So an SRC member of parliament has been charged for contempt after he disobeyed order during the previous parliamentary sitting. Which committee or office investigates all matters of contempt of parliament?
Thank you, the chair. That is the judicial board.
No. It has to go to the office of the Dean of Students. So if you read the SRC Constitution Article 23, you see it there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I have a very simple question. Aside the list of offenses in the student handbook with their sanctions, there are 3 misconducts of junior members that demands a sanction of a dismissal. List 2 of those misconducts.
Thank you, the chair. One, we have sexual assault or sexual harassment, sorry. Then we have physical assault. Thank you.
Okay, it's quite satisfactory, but when you look at page 44, item number 23, we have insubordinate to university authorities, addressing senior members of the university with insulting or derogatory words, indulge in antisocial activities like sodomy, nudity, tomfoolery, and what you mentioned are not really included, but you have tried, although your answer is wrong. So you can refer to the student handbook, page 44, item number 23, to find the 3 misconducts that demands an outright dismissal.
Thank you.
All right. I hope you are doing good.
Yes, the chair.
All right, then relax and answer the following question. Mr. Anachinaba is the president of an association legally operating on campus known as Bonaboto. He's planning to take a huge sum of money from the students so that they can organize to have a dog meat party. Advise him accordingly what must be done before he's allowed to do that.
Thank you, the chair. So, what the association have to do is that they have to write to the dean of students through the patron, stating why they want to take the money or what basically they are using the money for and the amount that they are taking from the students. Thank you.
That is quite satisfactory, well attempted. But then the important factor you've missed out is they must wait for the approval to come from the dean before you go ahead to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Mr. Anthony.
Yes, the chair.
I hope you are good.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Now, with reference to the grading system of the University of Cape Coast operates a combination of continuous assessment and end of semester examination. What's the percentage of weightings accredited to continuous assessment?
Okay, thank you, the chair. The continuous assessment has 40%.
That's correct. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Anthony.
The chair.
Why, do you like playing football?
Very well.
Good, good. All right, then let's see whether we can score a goal with this, my question, okay? In our academic setting in university, we have areas that when you fall short, you'll be dismissed. I think you understand my question. We have areas that when you fall short, you are going to be dismissed in the university. They are captured in 2 terms. For instance, if I should physically assault an invigilator in the exam hall, what do you think will be my sanction? Physically assaulting an invigilator in an exam hall.
Thank you, the chair. I think that is dismissal.
Dismissal, thank you. Then it now comes to the question. I'm saying that, so the dismissal comes as one of the components that falls under the 2 terms I'm talking about. Do you get my question? An example of, let's say you physically assaulting an invigilator in an exam office falls under one of the categories I'm talking about. There are 2 terms or 2 forms.
The chair, thank you. I'm trying so hard to understand.
All right.
I don't know if
I've given you an example, then you answered it, right? I asked you, if you physically assault an and if later in an exam hall, you are going to be dismissed. That's your answer, right?
Yes, please.
And I'm saying that it falls under one of the terms. There are two terms that when you find yourself in, you'll be dismissed in the university. One of the examples you've mentioned is just that, but they are in two terms.
Respectfully, the chair,
So I think basically what he's trying to ask is that offenses are categorized, okay, into two broad categories. So for instance, if you physically assault an invigilator, you are dismissed. It falls under a category. So he wants you to name the two categories of offenses. If you don't have any idea, we can make progress.
okay, the chair. I think we have academic and non-academic.
That's very good. That's very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yaboa,
The chair.
you are my person. You understand? You are my person.
Yes.
Are you sure you understand?
I'm your person.
Yeah.
Oh. The chair, I don't know if maybe my understanding is the same as what you mean.
Because I like treasurers a lot.
Oh.
And when I see them, I have that kind of feeling. Nice feeling within me.
That's nice.
Yes. So can we talk?
Sure.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
The chair.
So you listen to the rules before we begin. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions. The first question is half the total marks. I can't tell you the actual marks, but it's half the total marks. The second question is half the remaining marks. And the last one is another half. Yeah, so that's quarter. Now, when I ask the question, and you ask for a clue, listen carefully. If I ask a question, and you ask for a clue to the question, if you get it correct, you get half of that mark. If you have it wrong, we subtract another 2 from your total marks. Do you agree to that?
Respectfully, the chair, then I'm finding it so difficult to understand. I don't know.
So you have 3 questions. Okay, so let's go. The first question. The investor of Cape Coast is thinking of an investment option for its idle funds for the next 5 years. For the investor to carry out this, it's limited by an act. What is that act? And which financial institutions can the investee invest with?
Thank you, the chair. I think it's Public Financial Act 1992 at 278.
Then the second part of it. Which financial institutions? Financial institutions can it invest with?
Okay, so any financial institution that has the license to operate from the Bank of Ghana.
Okay, so you have that correct. but the art is wrong. So the art is at 921 Public Financial Management Act 2016. So that's the first one. Listen to the second question carefully. So the question reads, it's a preamble, so you listen. As a committee of the university, my membership comprises of one, the chairman being the provost. My other members include the registrar, the directors of finance, legal section, development, internal audit, transport office, and estate office. Are you good? The secretary to the committee is the assistant registrar of the legal section. Which committee am I?
That is the division of legal and...
No, that's not correct. Another attempt. Okay, so asset disposal committee. And you can find this in page 228, which is question 1 can be found in page 228 of the University Financial Regulation Policy and Procedure. And the second one can be found in page 123. So you got 1 out of 3.
Thank you.
Anthony, how are you?
I'm fine, the chair. How about you?
I'm also good.
Thank God.
Okay, so I am always the one that takes the candidate outside university. And so my question, it recently came in the news that the President of the Republic made a statement about the need for African countries to have strong financial institutions. Now, to which particular financial institution or bank did he make reference to? And he compared that African bank to another bank from another continent. So do you know the banks he made the references to?
Thank you, the chair. I think I saw something like that. So I also saw banks like UBA and PAPPS. These are the 2 banks that he spoke about.
That the President of the Republic spoke about, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
By what I read, that was the banks that I saw.
Okay, so the answers you have given are wrong. He refers to the Afrexim Bank. Have you heard of Afrexim Bank before?
Yes.
Yes, and the China Exim Bank. He was comparing the financial state of the Afrexim Bank to that of the Chinese Exim Bank. Yes, so
thank you.
That is the answer.
Thank you.
Tony Yabwa.
The chair.
Okay, let's do a bit of money and finance. Okay.
Okay.
So you've been working as financial secretary. You have some good experience doing that, right? Now, in the event where the SRC decides to invest because in that fiscal year or in that particular academic year, they have a surplus and they want to invest, what two tangible items would you advise them to invest in? As a treasurer, the SRC, after drawing their budget, realized that there's a budget surplus. They don't want to just keep the money. What two tangible items, as a treasurer, would you advise the SRC to invest in? You know about investments, right? Okay.
Thank you, the Chair. First of all, I want to say that the university does not agree to the fact that SRC should invest in government securities. So here, government securities are out. But as a treasurer, I think it would be good for us to invest in, make a fixed deposit, and also possibly maybe current account.
Fixed deposit and what?
Current account.
You think that is the best investment, the best tangible investment the SRC can do?
The Chair,
you have a lot of experience as financial secretary. So if you are advising the Church of Pentecost, you want them to invest in a fixed deposit. Is that what you're saying?
Thank you, the Chair.
Do you know what tangible investments are?
Thank you. Things that you can actually see.
Okay.
So, thank you, the Chair. I think it depends on the duration that you will need the money, even though we have surplus. But as to when we will need the money also, it's a factor that we have to take into consideration. So, just as I said, if it is something that, a money that we are not going to use it as a stance, maybe for within short period, I would advise we go in for fixed deposit. And if it is within short time, 6 months or something like that, we do with car account, since both of them will give us the interest rate of 29.5%. I think for now.
29% per annum or monthly?
Annum.
Per annum.
Yes, please.
In Ghana. You're sure about that? What is a call account?
Thank you, the Chair. Call account is an account that operates within 6 months.
And then?
And then you can withdraw the money with your interest.
So within the 6 months period, can you withdraw money from a call account? If yes, why, and if no, why? Within the 6 months period. So you put some money on call. Can you withdraw?
Thank you, the Chair.
Within the first 6 months.
Thank you, the Chair. The interest rate sometimes is calculated based on monthly. So if you are to withdraw within that 6 months period, that means from when you invested to the time that you withdraw the money, that is the interest that you are going to get within that time frame, instead of waiting for the 6 months to end so that you get all the interest. You get up to the month that you withdraw the money. Thank you.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between a risk register and an asset register? The difference between a risk register and an asset register. Do you know what they are?
Yes, the Chair.
Okay.
Thank you, the Chair. I don't know. Can I use scenario to explain the two? So the risk register, let's take insurance policy. If you want to insure your car, you insure it against the risk that you think it is possible. So something like theft. where you think maybe someone can just come and steal the car away. So you insure against theft. Should it happen, then that insurance company is liable to pay the money. When it comes to assets, you register your asset, you give it to maybe, let's say, a bank. You give your asset to the bank, then you register. That's keep my asset for me. I will pay the charges when the time is due, then I come for it.
That is totally inaccurate. Are you sure you know the difference between the two? Do you know what an asset register is?
The chair, myself, I've not read it before.
I'm not asking whether you've invested in assets before, but do you know what an asset register is? It's a register where you keep and document all your assets. So, as a SRC treasurer, you have an asset register. In that register, you can find all the assets of the SRC, where they are located and all of that. Then the risk register is an evaluation of your strategic plan or your working document, where you identify potential risk that are likely to occur that would derail the achievement of your strategy. As a business student, you should know this. You should not wait for me to be teaching you this.
Thank you, Chair.
Anyway, one final question. Right. Let's go back to the question on the PV. What is a PV? Pay voucher. What is it?
So, thank you, Chair. Payment voucher is a document that contains an amount or expenditure of a business. So what happens is that if a business pays for maybe goods that they purchased, they record it in the payment voucher. So
No. At what point within the transaction period do you raise? During the transaction period, do you raise a payment voucher?
Thank you, Chair. That is when goods have been purchased.
And
then amount have been paid.
No. I'll give you the last opportunity to answer this question. If not, we'll sack you. At what point do you raise a PV? You have been financial secretary and treasurer for the church and all of that. So at what point do you raise PVs?
Have you ever raised a PV?
Yes, ma'am.
At what point did you raise that? What necessitated you raising the PV?
Thank you, Chair. I think what we do as a church is that when you want to raise a PV, that means something has been bought. So basically, if you want to buy bulbs for the church, you buy it, then you code it in the PV. So you code with a description bulbs times the number of the bulbs that you bought. You also have a column for each item, then the total item and the date as well. Or if you want to pay money to the district, you record it in the PV, you raise a PV. So in a nutshell, what we were using PV for was that anything that you want to purchase or whenever we are taking money outside, we raise a PV.
But that is different from what you were saying earlier. So this is a document containing the description of items, goods, services you want to pay for. You are nodding your head. Thank you very much for coming. You hear from the committee.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're still live on TV, UCC, and on ATL 100.5. This is vetting of nominees for SRC local Nugs elections for the 2023-2024 academic year. We have in this afternoon session nominees for SRC Treasurer. We have 4 nominees for SRC Treasurer. We'll take a short break. We'll hand over to PDF, and then we'll call in the next nominee.
Right. I am back on your screen, and you know, whenever I come here, I come with a message, right? So, first one is from Gina. Tony, this is your story, Ampo. Hey. Valentine, wow. This one, the Kwamaster Ampo. Fantastic voice. Boache, Anthony. What the copies are, copy CV. This is from Sylvia Benedicta Safwa. Mommy, please take your time. He begs, please. And Samuel Asenso comes in with this. I drew out to you. And this is from, okay, he continued to say, hey, Tony Kohoko day. After how are you now? More fire. This is from On Point. The questions are too difficult. Francis Minta, why? Tony, you get issue platinum? This question is there. It be vetting question. This is vetting, my brother. So this is Tvucc. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. Hit on the notification icon. We're waiting for the next nominee to join us here. And so, as usual, let me take a few minutes to interact with the people here. Who is ready to speak with us? The early bird, they say, it catches the world. There's a beautiful lady close to me here. Sweetheart, is she ready? Oh, how are you?
I'm good, yourself.
I'm so fine. Thanks for asking. I like your earring, anyway. Yeah, the third one there. What's your name and your program of study?
I'm Emanuela, a PhD student, level 300.
What brought you here?
I came to have a view of what's happening.
And are you impressed?
Oh, very impressed. Yeah.
So far, what would you say about the vetting panel? Do you think they are being fair?
Their questions are educative and we are also learning, so it's cool.
What have you learned?
I've learned something about finance, and also the last question that was asked about what the government said. I couldn't get the chance to read about it, so I just learned here.
Should I ask her to tell us? No. What about the PV? Right. Let me direct that one to this gentleman. I learned he is the Boache Anthony. Right? You are. Join me here. Let me do this with you. Can we capture him? Great. Mini vetting here. What is PV?
I'm not a business student, so I don't know what PV is.
But we just heard the chairman talking about PV and the gentleman also talking about PV.
Me, for the PV, the only thing I heard was when you go to church, some collection box and something. That's the only thing I heard, to be frank. Yeah, as a science student, I don't know what PV is actually. Yeah.
So science students don't buy things, oh?
Science students buy things, but you don't ask what PV is actually. You see, So, and a science student won't aspire for SRC treasure. A science student won't aspire for SRC treasure. A science student will look further. He will go to SRC president. You see, that's it.
So SRC president, let's look at some of the likely questions that you think SRC president is likely to face here. Questions like what?
Okay, questions like matters arising on campus, like the let's say, let's look at the Shatawale Bridge especially. So if the SRC president goes to the let's say the VC or dean of students and asks him to build a bridge for us, and they say that place is not a pathway, so we should use the main road. what would the SRC president do? As such questions. And they will ask the SRC president, what will you do to help the traditional horse, like Castor, the ATL, Ogwa? That's it. And what will you do to maintain the peace and stability of horse and stuff?
So SRC president, what would you tell VC about the Shatawale? You say Shatawale, SWT lecture theater behind that place. What would you say to VC?
Okay, I'll actually tell VC that if Shatawale is not a road, they should build a wall over there so that at least we use the main road, so that at least we know that that place is not a way apart. But since there is no wall built over there, then at least they should do something about that muddy road for us. So that's what I'll actually tell VC.
How old is UCC?
This is 60.
16?
Nah, 61.
He said 16, I asked 16, he said 61. We ended here. The chair, I think you can take over. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, PDF. We're still live on TV, UCC, and on ATL 100.5. We're vetting nominees for the position of SRC Treasurer for the 2023-2024 academic year. If the next candidate is ready, Emmanuel Edusei, we can also hear him in. You're welcome.
Thank you, the chair.
All right. So, Emmanuel, tell us your full name, your registration number, and the reason why you're here.
Thank you very much, the chair. My name is Edusei Emmanuel. My index number is SBPCM 20. And I filed nomination to contest for the office of the SRC Treasurer. And I appear before the vetting to be vetted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. So I see you're from the Department of Procurement and Supply Chain Management. Is that correct?
Yes, please, the chair.
Okay, so you have some good understanding about the position you are vying for. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we'll do a bit of background check, and then we'll take you through some round of questioning, and then I'll come back, and then we'll talk about money. Is that okay?
Yes, please, the chair.
Kindly feel free, speak into the mic. Let's hear your voice. Let all those watching us live on TV, UCC, and listening on ATL 100.5 also hear you. The entire University of Cape Coast community wants to hear you. So speak loudly so we can all hear you. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
So you have a bottle of water in front of you. If you are uncomfortable at any point, you let us know. We'll take a break and then we can continue. Okay?
Thank you, the chair.
Hello, Ima.
Mommy.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Your CV is slightly better than Anthony's, but you still have problems. You still have problems. You have your heading well written. You have your personal information. You've stated your objective nicely. But can you tell me the difference between the working experience and the professional experience? Do you remember what you wrote on your CV? Did you do your CV yourself?
Yes, please.
And you submitted it just last week. So the content should be very fresh in your mind. Okay. So tell me the difference between your working experience and your professional experience.
Thank you very much, the chair. So with the professional experience, it's more formal. That is, we work in social, we work outside the institution. That's with work we do, that's we get money from it. That's with the professional. And the working experience is any activities you can also undertake aside you being in school. Thank you.
It is not true. Because what you have done here is to put work experience. Then you have 2018 to date, Betty's Best Bakery, and then the position you held. Then when you came down, You just explained the activities, the roles you were playing there, i.e. issuing receipts of payments, keeping track of inventory, etc., etc. So you could have combined the two, because one was the role you played, where you played it, and another one was the activities, your job title, and the other one was the activities you were playing, or the roles you were undertaking under that role. So you have to rework it. The two are not too different. They are the same thing. So when you bring the first one, then you bring the activities under it, then you bring the second one, and then in that order. And then I don't know whether you want to do initial caps or you didn't pay much attention. So something like Confanoche Teaching Hospital, you have Confanoche initial capitals, teaching hospitals small capitals. Medical store assistant, medical, you have initial caps, stores small caps, then assistants, capitals. So it's not as I think it should be. You are looking very nice, but your CV is not that nice. It's not that nice. Which level are you? You are in which level now?
3rd year, madam.
3rd year.
Please.
But you've written that you have a qualification. You have degree in Bachelor of Commerce, Procurement and Supply Chain Management. Qualification, that is what is there. But you're in level 300. For the WASI and the BCE, yes. But this one, you have not attained it.
Thank you, the chair. So, Mami, with the dates and with respect to the my university degree, I didn't stipulate the time that I'll complete this. So
you can still, it can be ongoing, but you can't just put it there. You have degree. That means that you have a degree in Bachelor of Commerce, Procurement. Do you get it?
Please, let's have some silence in the gallery, please.
And I never knew that there are deputy chairpersons, finance chairpersons. Is it official in the halls? Or is unofficial?
Yes, we formed it as part of the HRCM, the Vancouver Finance Committee. So it's, yes.
But in your finance committee, you are the deputy.
Yes.
Because this is the first time I'm seeing deputy Vancouver finance chairperson. Again, it's all messy. When you come to 2015 to 2016, for instance, you are the president, National Red Cross. Where? Is it the whole Ghana? The whole Ghana?
Yes, please.
Hey. National Red Cross.
That's at the secondary level.
Exactly. But you've just written National Red Cross president. So it's like the whole Ghana. You are the president of the National Red Cross. And I know you can't be. Because it's a big institution. You understand? So you write president, National Red Cross Society or whatever. Then your school, where you are representing or where you are the president, you state that clearly. Again, SRC Financial Secretary, where? Adisado.
Yes, please.
Okay. Then what is the Santa Moga?
It's an campus. That's Adisado and Infantine Girls Old Students Association. Thank you.
So it's on campus?
Yes, please.
So that one too, I don't know where it is. Then you wrote president. There's a president now there. Hey, Mr. President. So why didn't you go for the presidency? SRC president.
Thank you, the chair.
So
in every institution I find win, I try to my quota place I. So when I was in school, that is Adisado. I have to be the SRC Financial Secretary time, and during my time, I was able to organize programs with my executives. We organize financial literacy programs.
You have set a question for yourself. I asked you, why not Valco Hall president or SRC president? Why treasurer? Because you have been president at Red Cross, president at Santa Moga. So why not president at UCC of alcohol?
Thank you, the chair. So, and this I don't want to implement. I believe the SRC treasurer portfolio best fits what I.
But you have not really been a treasurer, have you?
No, please.
I see. Tell me about Mrs. Henrietta Ucc.
Managing Director, Betty Best Bakery. Thank you.
You still work with her? I see. In fact, your CV is very scanty. So some of the things I was expecting to see is not here. You can do it in a better way. You spoke about the fact that you handle feedback. You take feedback and handle it when customers complain. How do you do this? Or how did you do that?
Thank you very much, the chair. So at Betty's Best Bakery, we supply bread to various customers in our vicinities. So after we have delivered the bread, I'll be sent to go and see the various customers and ask them how do they see the bread. Is there any changes they would like us to make? Yes, then I will report and give the feedback to my managing director. Thank you.
I see. And as a deputy hall finance chairperson, what do you do?
Thank you very much, the chair. So I've been running errands for our current treasurer, that's Mr. Thomas, and sometimes submitting documents to the audit and also taking it back from the audit. And also when we have financial committee meetings, when he's not present, I take over till the time he comes back. Thank you.
Maybe my last but one. As the SRC Finance Committee member, what do you do? Hang on. So you are UCAP's Finance Committee member, SRC Finance Committee member, and Deputy Hall Finance Chairperson.
Yes, please.
These roles, do they not conflict?
No, please.
What do you do? As the SRC Finance Committee member, what do you do?
Thank you, the chair. So, as part of the committee, we organize meetings and discuss how we want to move forward as a committee. That is, we also talk about literacy programs, and we learn how to prepare budgets, the need for us to learn how to save, and also I run errands and sometimes pay taxes on behalf of the SRC treasurer. And some of the taxes I pay is the withholding tax. Thank you.
Again, we have referees here. No emails for your referees. You have written references. Let me ask you a last question and then I would leave you and come back later. Assuming you pass through vetting and you are voted for and you become the SRC what?
Treasurer.
Treasurer, good. And after some 2 months, you decide that you don't want to do it again. You don't want to do it again. What kind of letter would you write? You have passed through vetting. We have voted for you. You are the SRC treasurer. We say that is you. Then 2 months, 3 months down the line, you realize that no, this is not what I really wanted to do. So you decide you don't want to do it again. But you have to tell someone. Of course, you'll be working with the president, the vice president, etc. So you have to tell them, you have to inform them officially. So what letter would you write to them? What kind of letter would you write to them informing them that you don't want the position again?
Please have an idea.
Resignation letter.
Thank you.
You don't want it, so you want to resign, isn't it?
I wanted to use withdrawal.
Withdrawer. Withdrawer. Withdrawer.
Emmanuel, Yes, so on the CV again, there are quite a number of errors you need to correct. But I noticed something interesting, that between 2015 and 2016, you were the SRC Financial Secretary, and then at the same time, the dispensary prefect. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
How did you combine both roles?
Thank you very much. So with the health infirmary prefect, we go for vetting and we'll be voted and they will elect us. And the Red Cross president is also an association I started joining since.
No, I'm not talking about Red Cross. On your CV, you have SRC Financial Secretary, 2015, Addis Ababa College, 2015 to 2016. Even the spelling of your college is wrong. I'm not sure the Adisco people will be happy with you. Then at the same time, you were dispensary prefect. And I'm asking, how were you able to combine both of those positions?
Thank you very much, the chair. So as the dispensary prefect, we have times we are to the dispensary. That's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But unless maybe there's an emergency where the nurses are not around and they will ask us to be for any first aid treatment, SRC Finance Committee only on weekends for our programs. Thank you.
And you had good knowledge in first aid and other things, and you were administering.
Yes, please. Since I was part of the Red Cross in the SHS time.
You are part of the Red Cross?
Yes, please.
So that was what qualified you to be the dispensary prefect?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll make progress, but we'll come back and talk about money.
Thank you very much, the chair.
Good afternoon, Edusei.
Hello, good afternoon.
I hope you are fine.
Please up.
I'm also fine. So a group of students think that the annual expenditure of the SRC should be published on our various notice boards. What's your take as the SRC treasurer on this confrontation?
Thank you very much, the chair. So as is clearly stated in the financial policies and regulations, after 72 hours when the budget has been approved, it should be published at the various notice board. I think it should be done in the sense that it will also enable the students to know the amount of money the SRC is generating and also the expenditures they are making. Thank you.
So you saw the one which was pasted by the current SRC treasurer. Did you see it?
No, please.
Okay, that's satisfactory.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Emmanuel Eduse.
Yes, please.
All right. Okay. Your question. How would you ensure transparency and accountability within the SRC?
Please.
How would you ensure transparency and accountability within the SRC?
Very much, the chair. So I believe the SRC treasurer, after we are done, we take a various documents nowadays. I believe that after the activities and all documents related to finances, the internal audit will be the best person to detect all of these things. Thank you.
That's correct. Thank you.
Adusei, how do you do?
How do you do?
Okay. Who is the treasurer of the local Nugs?
Please, is the SRC treasurer.
Okay. So, as the SRC treasurer, do you think you are being overburdened? And for that matter, the local Nugs should appoint their own treasurer?
Thank you very much, the chair. So with the local Nugs, they also have the chairperson for finance. So he works and submits the various documents to the SRC to be added to their document. So I don't see it to be a burden in the sense that we have a local Nugs finance chairperson. Thank you.
Okay, so the local Nugs finance secretary, is he a signatory to the SRC account?
No, please.
Okay. And then, do you have knowledge about the constitution of the local Nugs?
Thank you, the chair. Not really. Not at all.
But you are going to be the treasurer of the local Nugs. Okay, let me ask you this. Per the constitution of the local Nugs, do you know? Okay, so we are done.
Thank you very much, the chair.
And then your answer was satisfactory.
Thank you.
So, Emmanuel.
Hello.
Okay. So the Faculty of Arts Students Association had a clash with the Faculty of Social Science Students Association during their socialization games at the Casford Field. How would you advise them to resolve their conflict?
The chair, the question again.
The Faculty of Arts Students Association had a clash with the Faculty of Social Science Students Association during their socialization games at the Casford Field. How would you advise them to resolve their conflict?
Thank you, Chair. I believe every association on campus is having a patron. So if there is a situation of this kind, they are to write an official letter to their patron concerning what's happened, and he will do the follow-up. Thank you.
So if the patron is unable to resolve, what next?
I think they will advance to the head of department.
Okay, the first part is right, the second part is wrong. So if it's unresolved by the patron, you forward it to the Dean of Students. It's in the handbook, section 21B. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's satisfactory.
Okay. So there is a directorate that coordinates the planning and monitoring of academic programs. There is a directorate that coordinates the planning and monitoring of academic programs in the university. Which directorate is that?
Directorate of Academic Affairs.
Your last attempt. Okay, so that is the Directorate of Academic Planning and Quality Assurance. You will find it in the Student Handbook, page 14. Thank you. Yes, you were wrong. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Emmanuel.
Yes,
as the incoming SRC treasurer, you are going to handle a huge amount of money. You're actually going to handle a lot of money. And I'm sure you are ready to embezzle some so that when you are able to hand over successfully, you escape maybe internal audit, you can buy a Land Cruiser for yourself. Is that right?
No, please.
Okay. So you are saying no, please. Then tell us the sanctions that are applied to any person who embezzled fund whilst in a position and is found guilty.
The person will be sanctioned and will be withdrawn from his position.
You have your second attempt. In case you don't get the question, please do not rush, okay? Just relax. I'm saying that a number of sanctions will be applied to a student leader in a position or a student in a position who embezzle funds. Mention these sanctions or identify these sanctions. There are a number of them that could be applied. Just 3 is okay.
So the first one is they'll take the position away from him. Also, he'll be asked to pay the money. And third one, be in prison.
Well, the in prison is, I wouldn't say it's too harsh, but you got part of it. It's, to a large extent, very, very satisfactory. But the area you are saying you refund the money, you have to refund with interest. You refund with interest. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Emmanuel.
Hello, dear.
Okay, so this is my question for you. In accordance with the credit weightings for experiential trainings, Please, can you hear me?
No, please.
In accordance with credit weightings for experiential trainings,
For
experiential trainings, a full semester's experimental training program, together with a project work, should have a maximum of how many credit hours?
Thank you very much, the chair. It's 18. 18.
Last attempt.
Please, can you give me clarification on that?
Come again.
Can you help me with that? Can you help me with that, please?
Okay, sure. So it's 15 credit, 12 for experiential training, and 3 credits for project work. So this can be found in the academic policies and regulations, page 18. Thank you.
All right, Emmanuel.
Hello.
I'm going to give you a very simple question. You are reading a 4-year program, is that not so?
Yes, please.
4 years. So your question is, what is the minimum credit required for you to complete?
That's with
for
the
the
4
full
years.
4 years.
120 hours.
Please hold on. I am going to sound this caution the last time. If I ever hear the gallery whisper answers or responses, the candidate will be disqualified and will make progress. This is the last time I am making this statement. Thank you.
All right. So your answer?
120 hours.
Good. That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay. Based on your admission requirement, the university has about 4 entry routes. Do you know them? I want you to just mention 2.
Again.
Based on your admission requirement, we have about 4 entry routes into the university. Can you mention just 2?
Is it the core values?
Entry routes to the university.
There are 4 ways through which you can come into this university. He wants you to mention 2 of that.
So as an undergraduate student,
yes,
and as a sandwich student, distance student.
It's undergraduate, so I want you to just mention the 4. I mean, 2 out of it. You are not getting what I want, so I'm giving a last chance. Before you came to this school, there are 4 ways you can use to come to this school, or admitted into the school. Yes, there are about 4 ways, and then you even used, if I should say one of them, and you are here. So you should be able to tell me how you got your entrance here.
Okay, so I wrote the West African examination, and I passed, and I'm here.
Okay.
And
that's one route.
And so you can come here to do a second degree.
All right. So I will just come in to assist you. Yes, just as you've mentioned, you use your YC exams. You can use your SSC exams. Then you can also come as a foreign student or international admission. Then you come to the university. Or better still, a matured entrance exams too you can use to get into the school. Is that clear?
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. But your attempt is good.
Okay. Edison.
The chair.
So the rules has no change. I'm going to ask 2 questions, but the first question has 2 components. When you answer the first one correct, that is quarter. When you answer the second one, that is half. And the third one is another quarter. So you listen carefully. Good. So let's start. The investor of Cape Coast is thinking of investing in a financial instrument. Are we good? Which unit of the investment is supposed to evaluate the instruments option? The investor of Cape Coast is thinking of investing in a financial instrument, which unit of the university is supposed to evaluate the investment option?
Please take it again.
So for the last time, I just ate banku, so please don't let me. So let's go for the last time. The University of Cape Coast is thinking of investing in a financial instrument. Which unit of the university is supposed to evaluate? You have no idea?
No, please.
Okay, so that is 0. Let's go to the second one. So what is the requirement the committee needs to approve such a financial instrument from a financial institution?
Thank you very much, Chair. I think it should be approved by the university and is in accordance with the PPA Act, Procurement Public Act.
Another attempt. You have no idea.
No, please.
Okay, so the committee just needs a 3-year financial audited statement of the financial institution. And these 2 questions can be found in page 230 of the University Financial Regulation, Policy and Procedure. Now let's go to the last one, which is on page 83 of the same book. The University of Cape Coast wants to procure desktop computers for its central administration. As a sign of good faith, the university decides to make an advance payment. Which officer has the authority to approve this?
The Directorate of Internal Audit.
Another chance. Listen to the question carefully. The University of Cape Coast wants to purchase desktop computers for its central administration. As a sign of good faith.
It's a sign of
good faith. It decides to make an advance payment. Which officer of the university has the authority?
The Vice Chancellor.
Okay, so that is correct. So you have a quarter out of the whole marks.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Emmanuel, welcome again.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Recently, Temaoyo Refinery has been in the news for about the past week or so. So what is the whole issue about? What is happening that they are trending?
Please, can you educate me on that?
Okay. So Tamaria Refinery is in the news because of the huge debt that, the debt that the organization owes, yes, which is around 540 million US dollars. And recently, the agencies that they owe, including SNAIT and GRA, has cracked down on them, and that is the whole issue. So people are even advocating for closing it down entirely, since it's just racking up debt for government to pay. Okay.
Thank you very much, the Chair.
Welcome.
Ivano,
Daddy.
so I am back.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do some finance. Do you know what a petty cash is?
Yes, please.
What is a petty cash?
It's a reasonable amount that we use to make petty expenses.
How different is a petty cash from an imprest?
Please take it again for me.
I should take it again?
Yes, please.
Okay. How different is a petty cash from an imprest? You know what an imprest
Yes,
is?
please.
And you know what a petty cash
Yes,
is? Yes. So what's the difference between the two? Or are they similar? Are they the same?
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. So with the imprest, there's a reasonable amount of money which is placed to do those expenses. But with the petty expenses, as to when they have to do those buying of things, you use that one.
Speak like a school of business person and stop speaking like people from my college. Oh. Yeah. Talk like a school of business person. What's the difference between petty cash and an imprest?
To say with the imprest, the reasonable amount that organization sets aside to make routine and petty expenses, and even under that you have types. You have standing imprest and special advance. With the special advance, I want to bring it from somewhere to.
Don't go to special advance. You stay with imprest and petty cash.
So please, I know that they're all used to make the petty expenses, but I don't know the vital difference.
Okay. That the admission is good. So if the SRC president comes and says that you should give him petty cash, so he manages that he wants to move around and he needs petty cash, would you do that as a treasurer?
No, please.
Why?
Because as one of the duties of the SRC treasurer, we have to keep the interest and anything related to finances. So I'm not sure I'll give it to you.
But you're saying that if you have petty cash, you can use that to make unplanned payments, sort a few things here and there. So your president comes to you and says, look, I think I need to go to Amamuma, and if you have some petty cash, just give me about 1,000 cedis. Let me just put it in my pocket, so maybe on my way when I'm getting funds, presido, then I can start doling out some one Ghana.
Please, I won't do that.
Why?
Because I think that's not the right thing to do.
So who keeps petty cash then?
The treasurer.
The treasurer?
Yes, please.
So how do you account for petty cash?
So you add it to relevant documents of the items you have bought and you submit to the internal.
Petty cash. I'm not talking about imprest. How do you account for petty cash?
Please, I think you enter into the cash book. You record them into the cash book then. Before this.
You think or you know?
I believe.
You believe?
Yes, please.
Finally, what advice would you give to the SRC when it comes to investment? And what would you advise them to invest in?
Thank you very much, the chair. So advise them to invest in either fixed deposit or call account. So with a fixed deposit, it's a huge amount of money that an organization puts in a bank, and at a point when the time is due, they go and take the money plus their interest. And also with a call account, it's basically the same, but with that one, during the money being inside, you can still make withdrawals. So those are the two things I would want the SRC to venture in. Thank you.
So all your financial advice would be put the money at the bank, Do you think that is reasonable enough?
Thank you very much, the chair. So per the financial rules and regulations, those are the two things we can invest in.
Says who? You don't think that the SRC can invest in assets? Do we have accommodation deficit?
Pardon?
Do we have accommodation deficit? In the University of Cape Coast, do we have problems with accommodation?
Yes, please.
So you don't think it will be a viable venture for the SRC to invest in?
If I were to be in that position, I would take the first two for now.
Speak into the mic. We want to hear you.
If I was to be in the position of the SRC treasurer, I think the fixed deposit and the call account are the two things I would invest in.
You want something that is risk-free. So you come and join the status quo, and then let's take it to the bank. Let's take it to the bank. Meanwhile, we have serious accommodation challenges. So you will advise the SRC to invest into building another SRC hall. Emmanuel. Anyway, thank you very much for coming. You hear from the committee.
Thank you very much.
So we're still live on TV, UCC, and on ATL 100.5. This is vetting of nominees for the position of SRC Treasurer for the 2023-2024 academic year. We are about to interact with the final nominee for this afternoon's session, and then we'll bring today's session to a close. If you are able to join us at the Jenana Opoku Ajiman Auditorium, please do so. If not, you can follow us live on TV, UCC, and on ATL 100.5. You can also leave your comments in the chat box so we can read them and share with you. Over to you, PDF.
Right, the chair. Thank you. Let me take a few minutes to read some of your comments here. Of course, that prompts us that you're part of us, and we do highly appreciate that. That tells us that you do love us as we also love you. Especially to you, Boache, Anthony, Freddie, Deborah from Germany. Debbie, write to us. It's been a while. Kelly TV, I do say be fanboy. Sandra comes in with fanboy in Yaba. Tachina Akon. The panel member in blue, dear, slow crowd. Isaac Boydo, I like your demeanor. I do say Patrick or one, I do say satisfactory. No, ya do song. But we are Madeline. I do say, and Miss Perry comes in with this. His smile alone. Then Tachida Con Nicholas. The lady is crashing on. I do say, see how she's talking. Helena Ami. Fun boy with brains, and Tachi comes in again. Nose mask with lens. Hey, dear Sam Cranier. And Yaboa, what at all happened during the break? It seems the afternoon questions are too scary. What happened? Interesting. Maybe you may want to join us here to get to know what is happening in the room. Freddie, I do say, I think, no, I didn't so. And this is also from Vanessa Cow. I believe. TTM, Abodie Ediaba. You can also join us. Send your comments. You can do the same. Send your comment to us at the comment section. And we would highly appreciate that. At this point, we'll try to see if I would get one or two. Gentlemen, I like your suit. Let me draw closer to him. You know I'm coming to you, huh? Rise. Yeah, I like the dressing. Yes, how are you doing?
I'm very fine. How are you too?
I'm also fine. Have you been to UK? I like how you sound.
No, I speak on radio.
Radio? Oh, nice. Oh, you're a radio presenter. Sports or news?
I do inspirational hour.
Inspirational hour?
Yes, that's my show.
Okay. Is there anything spiritual here? Are we safe?
We are very safe. Yes, of course.
Let me have your view on the vetting so far.
All I could say, I think they are trying their best. And then, but I think what I heard so far, they said the satisfactory is not enough. So it means that there is more to be done. I will not take side, but I think that I am for one candidate who I know very well. Currently, he's holding a position in that regard. So I believe that he has more knowledge on that field. So I'm just waiting for that candidate to be vetted, and I'm hoping for the best. Yes.
So what do you think those who are yet to come should do so that the satisfactory this time wouldn't be too much?
That is why I'll urge each and every one, those who are yet to come, just to come and see the next candidate. They will see what they have not yet seen.
Oh, interesting. Indirect way of Well, campaigning. We are also waiting to see the person you're talking about. But tell us your name and your program of study.
Okay, my name is Richmond Agbesi, but you can affectionately call me Bill Rich, a level 300 become marketing student.
You didn't contest for any position?
I went for the PRO last year, but unfortunately couldn't turn out well. School of Business. Yes.
What happened?
I have discovered, but it could not be shared here. Yes. That's what I could say for now.
But the others could also learn from you what you did. You did the best for them to learn from you, right?
Yes, in my capacity, I think I have done my best. And then those who are coming, they should at least pick something from what I have done. And then I believe so well that it could help them. All right. Yes.
Thank you. Right. So, from my left straight to my right. What are you telling the lady?
Nothing serious. Nothing serious. We're just discussing something.
What's her name? Just rise, eh? Right. Let's see your face. We want to see you. We want to see you. The gentlemen and the ladies watching want to see you. Yes. What are you telling her?
Nothing serious. We're just discussing something. Is it right after the vetting? Yeah, we're just discussing something.
She's a friend?
Yeah, she's my friend.
I thought you just met her.
Nope, she's my friend.
So while others are taking ladies to dinner, you take a lady to vetting room, huh?
Not necessarily. I actually came to meet her here.
You just met her?
I came to meet her here, but this is not the first time meeting her. She's my friend, but I came to meet her here.
Okay, so you didn't come with her as a date?
Exactly.
But what's your name, your level, and the program that you study in?
Okay, my name is Kinslow Biamponsa, level 300, Human Resource Management, Business Commerce.
Fantastic. I like your voice. Gentlemen, let's see your face. He's Prof, eh? Prof.
Exactly.
Prof, how far with the vetting? What do you have to say?
Okay, it's interesting and then I've really enjoyed it. It's educative as well.
What have you learned so far?
So far, I've learned about the 4 routes. That, I've actually learned about the 4 routes that one can use to enter into the university. Yeah, that is through your WASI, your SSC, being a mature student or a foreign student. Yeah.
What would be your advice? What would be the advice that you would give to those who are yet to come?
They should just learn everything, as in every document pertaining to the university, they should read through. Because I see that the vetting panel is not actually limiting their questions to certain documents, but then it's holistic. As in, it covers every part of the university, yeah.
And you believe they've been fair to the aspirants?
Oh, yeah, they've been fair, yeah.
Right. What is your comment on the satisfactory?
Satisfactory as?
Yes. Someone just wrote to us that the satisfactory is becoming too much, and our brother also commented on that. What do you have to say about that?
Oh yeah, they are the vetting panel. So if they are satisfactory or they have they are satisfied about a certain answer, I think it's cool. It's fair. Yeah.
All right. We're grateful for your time. But mention your name.
I'm Ansakweji Manuel, level 300, become accounting student.
Would you want to send a shout out?
Yeah, shout out to the court members, all the people there. They are called the Council of Elders. Yeah.
Hey, are you, which court is that?
Yeah, actually, the name of my hostel is the court. Yeah, and the members there are called the Council of Elders. So, Pugasti, Jomo, Seto, everybody, Honorable Empire.
I didn't hear a lady's name. Which of the ladies? Which of the ladies would you want to mention name? Just one lady.
Actually, I don't want to be biased. I don't want to face problems. So just leave it there.
So there are many. There
Thank you very much, PDF.
Right,
the man doesn't want to have any problems. It is always better to stay afloat than to try to dive deep in there and not survive. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to the final person for today's vetting for the position of SRC Treasurer. So this will be our last vetting for today. and then hopefully tomorrow would continue. And we're live at the Jainana Opokwajimine Auditorium and also live on TV UCC. If you're watching us live, leave your comments in the chat box. You can also join us at the auditorium whilst we interact with the candidates. So if the nominee is ready, let's usher him in. Enoch Kwame. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So kindly state your name, registration number, program of study, and tell us the reason why you're here.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Kwame Enoch Langdoma, Bachelor of Commerce Marketing student in this number SB MKT/200093. This afternoon, I've picked an application form and I'm here to be elected for the position of SRC treasurer.
Okay, Kwame, you're welcome.
Very
so
much, sir.
You have a bottle of water in front of you. Feel free to take a sip anytime you want to. Okay, if at any point in time you're uncomfortable and you want us to break, you let us know, and then we'll take a break. Again, we're going to take turns to ask you questions, and then we should be done in a couple of minutes, right? But first of all, we'll do a quick background check. Just feel free, relax, and then make sure you speak into the microphone. Sorry.
Okay. Sir.
So that all those listening to us can hear you, and all those who would want to vote for you, should you go through this process, would be able to do that based on your responses, amongst many others. Right. So you're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hello, Kwame.
Hello, mommy.
So it's good to see you. You are looking good.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are looking good. I don't know. The treasurers decided to bring horrible CVs to me, but I won't mind you. All the four of you, you have issues with your CVs. You know, it can be as lengthy as possible. We didn't give you the number of pages to stick to. But, your margins are okay, but your CV, I still have challenges with it. So, are you a Ghanaian?
Yes, please.
So there's nothing about that. Are you a male or female?
Please. I'm a male, please.
We don't have any personal data here. Your date of birth is not here. All those things that would give us the proper clue as to who you are is not here.
Wait, please, I'm sorry.
So in future, take your time and do a proper CV. Bring the heading and all the things you need. You're a marketing student, right?
Yes, please.
So why treasurer?
Thank you very much, Umi. Please, the treasurer came in because looking at the field of marketing, we are not only going to sell goods and services, we are going to be handling money as well. So, as a marketing student, I decided to take up, portfolio that to help me acquire more skills and interest with regards to the financial aspect of the marketing.
Have you been a treasurer before?
Yes, please.
Where?
Currently, I'm serving as a treasurer for SRC Hall.
Oh, you are the treasurer for SRC Hall?
Yes, please.
Is that not enough? Why would you want to take another treasurer portfolio? You've acquired the needed experience already. So why would you want to take up the same portfolio again?
Thank you very much, Mr. Che. Please, I believe in the saying that learning is everywhere, and as a whole treasurer, I believe in learning or taking my learning abilities to the next level. So that's the main reason why I want to become the SRC treasurer. Please.
You look like the president. So why didn't you go for the president in your hall?
Thank you very much, Mumi. Thank you very much, Mumi. I didn't go in for the treasurership position, the president in my hall, because looking at myself, I have functional skills that will help me perform very well when I'm being given the chance to serve as the SRC treasurer.
I see. You are afraid to be a president. Tell me about you said you have, as part of your skills and interests, you like researching. Yeah. Tell me about that journey.
Okay. It came in when I came to level 100. I didn't read accounts. So and looking at my course registration, I saw Echo 101, where I asked myself, hey, what is this? So with this, I decided to pick up or develop strategies that will help me gain more knowledge with the account. So with this, I decided to start searching on the internet to gather more information with regards to the accounts, please.
So gathering information with regards to accounts is researching.
That's not.
I mean, as far as you are concerned.
Yes, please. It's part of research, but that's not entirely research.
You have something here. Calisthenics.
Calisthenics.
Calisthenics. Where do you do that?
Oh, please. It's involved in the process of building.
I know. Where do you do it? It's exercising, basically.
Yes, please.
So why didn't you write exercising? You want me to know that you can speak English. Where do you do that?
Mostly, I do it on our basketball court or sometimes in front of my room, please.
Then you could have also become the sports chair.
Yes, please.
But you didn't like that.
For the calisthenics, it's basically talking about you training the sports personnel, and it's not entirely going into sports. So this is about the fitness level of the sports personnel, please.
So you train them.
I train on my own.
You train yourself.
Yes, please.
Master. You claim that as part of your achievements, you were awarded the most hardworking boy at Spring of Life International School. Most hardworking boy. How did that come about?
Thank you very much, madam. With that one, the place the school was located and our place of residence, it was very far. So I normally wake up early and make sure by 6 a.m. I'll be in school and do my morning duty that's expected from me, and also have some small time to go through my notes before lectures begin. So based on that, and the school proprietor too was staying in the school. So whenever I go to school, he sees me and he keep on giving me, saying positive words to me that, oh, I should keep it up, it's going to help me.
So were you voted for or something, or you were just awarded because the managers, the proprietors liked you?
It was an award based on certain criteria, that is coming to school early and involving in school activities, please.
I get it. Okay. So are you part of the cadets?
Yes, please.
Currently?
Yes, please.
Okay. Spell extra curriculum activities. So the curriculum, please. Or curriculum.
All right. EXTRACER.
Take it again. The curriculum.
CARRICULUM.
Start again. Take your time.
C
Curriculum or curriculum.
C double A R I C
So
U.
clearly you can't spell that. When you go back, go and learn how to spell curriculum.
Thank you, madam.
I'll come back to you.
So Kwame, let's stay again on your CV. I see under skills and interest, you've indicated tax audit.
Yes, please.
Is that a skill?
With regard to my treasurership at the hall level, I normally file tax on behalf of the hall.
Is that a skill or it is an interest?
It's a skill, please.
It's a skill?
Yes, please.
So do you agree with me that you cannot put skills and interest together under the same heading?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, so you have interest in tax audit?
Yes, please.
So tax audit is not a skill?
Say please, it's a skill.
Educate us, please.
With the tax audits, this is what I do. Anything that we do in the hall that's involved in paying of tax. Whenever I'm being raising a special advance or a PV, I have to add a tax component to it. And with this, you have to know the various taxes and their rates that you need to pay as far as the item that you are being requesting the money for is concerned.
So how much withholding tax do we pay?
3%, please.
On anything at all, or there are different variations in the withholding tax?
Please, with the withholding tax is 3% across, please.
Okay, I see. Then again, you have also indicated that you have knowledge in Microsoft Office Suite.
Yes, please.
Which of the Office Suites?
It's Microsoft Excel.
Okay, I see. Interesting. Then you have the ability to develop and implement strategies.
Yes, please.
So educate us on that. Just mention 2 strategies you have developed, and then tell us how you implemented those strategies.
Okay. With this, I'll start with the introduction to microeconomics I met in UCC. Since I have not studied microeconomics before, and I know that it's a course that I need to pass in order to be promoted to the next level, I sat down to draw a personal timetable whereby I allocated enough time for the accounts in order to study it well.
Do you know what a strategy is?
A strategy is a careful plan that is being developed to achieve a stated goal.
Okay. So how did you develop that strategy?
First, I gathered information that will help me develop the strategy of passing my career accounts. So by drawing a timetable, I allocated enough time and I went in for past question from science.
And how did you implement the strategy, and what was the success rate of the implementation?
I implemented it by following the timetable and also asking colleagues who have ever studied the accounts at the senior high school level.
So what indicators did you put in your implementation plan? Indicators, yes. What indicators did you put in your implementation plan that you could look at and say that if I am able to achieve this indicator, or if I am able to meet that indicator, then it means that I have been successful in the implementation of a strategy?
Firstly, I set a target for myself. That is, it's either I get A, or since I'm first today.
What indicators did you put in that strategy? Because you see, in your CV, you're saying that you have the ability to develop and implement strategies. That is huge. And the only example you're giving me now is about the fact that you came to first year, you had not studied economics, and then you developed a strategy, and then you passed it. So that aside, apart from that, which other strategy have you developed?
The second one has to do with my cadet training. Okay. When I came, I was the commander in my school, and I saw the as part of the SRC Hall cadets, I told myself that I'll end up becoming the physical training instructor. So when I joined the cadets, I went for training early. I contributed effort towards the attainment of the goals of the cadets. So at the end of the semester, he appointed me as the cadet physical training instructor.
So what indicators did you put in your implementation? Do you know what strategy indicators are?
The variables that helps you in achieving your goals that you have stated for yourself.
Okay. So how did you measure the achievement over the period? And with what indicators did you measure the achievements?
The first one is time management.
So what was the indicator for time management in that strategy?
Able to manage the small time given to you to perform any given activity.
No, I am not convinced. You see, sometimes you put a lot of things on your CV, write a lot of big English, and if we talk about someone who develops strategies and implements strategies, you're looking beyond a number of these things that you're saying. So strategy development is a huge thing on its own. So you may want to look at that. Now, I have also noticed that you're a member of the finance committee of the Ucc Src. Is that correct? What is the financial status of the SRC?
When I
give them your mic. Yes.
When I asked the SRC treasurer about the status of the school, he didn't give me the actual figure, but he told me because of the measures being put in place at the central level, the UCC is operating at a surplus level. They are not incurring any deficit.
But you're a member of the SRC Finance Committee. So what do you discuss at that committee?
First and foremost, we sometimes sit and prepare budget. And also, at times, he calls me to take document to the pre-audit for him, please.
So you are an errand boy for the SRC treasurer?
Yes, I can put it in that way.
But you were part of the committee that drafts the budget, right? So in that case, don't you have an idea how much the SRC has in terms of his accounts and all of those things?
Say please, I have an idea. But with regard to the budget, as at the time he was preparing the budget, I was not around.
As at the time they were drawing the budget, you were not around?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's interesting. I see. Then I see your referees. You have their names here beautifully with the email addresses without their titles. I'm not sure your hall master will be too happy about that. You know that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's a mistake I did. Instead of submitting or printing the corrected.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Now, how do we retire special advance?
We retire special advance within a given time frame, that's 1 month. In order for you to retire special advance, we need a disbursement form to show the name of the supplier the amount that you spent with that supplier, and the necessary receipts you receive from all the suppliers you made expenses from, together with the disbursement form. Then the person whose name was raised with a special advance has to endorse on the disbursement sheet. After that, then you take it to for my hall, you take it to the hall master to also endorse, and before taking it to pre-audits and checks.
Okay, we'll come back and talk about money.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hi, Enoch.
Hi.
Please, how are you doing?
Please, I'm fine. Then you?
I'm also fine. So I guess you belong to a college, right?
Yes, please.
So under your college, there are many centers, okay, or there are centers that are in your college. But there is one center in that college that you belongs to, which is more centered on entrepreneurship. Can you help me with that? The name of that center.
You know it to be Center for Entrepreneurship for Students, please.
Please, can you come again?
I know it to be a Center for Entrepreneurship.
Center for Entrepreneurship.
Yes, please.
Okay, so the actual answer is Center for Entrepreneurship and Small Enterprises. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So that was a good attempt.
Hello, Enoch.
Hi.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Okay, so to your question, how would you communicate financial information to the SRC and the student body at large?
Please, can you come again with your question?
How would you communicate financial information to the SRC executives and the student body at large?
Okay. In the executive body, we have a PRO who is in charge of information. So if I have any information to be communicated to the student body, I will channel it through the PRO in order to get that information to the student. And with the executive too, I can do that when we call for executive meeting, please.
What of the student body?
With the student body, I made mention of using the PRO, communicating such information to the student through the PRO, since he is in charge of disseminating information to students.
Thank you. That's good.
About there.
Senior.
So, on the occasion where you, as the SRC treasurer, you decide to resign, or something happens along the way and then you are removed from office, then it means that your office becomes vacant. So what happens after such occasion has happened?
Okay, the deputy financial chair, he serves as the acting treasurer for a given period of time, and the president comes in consultation with his executive, comes in to appoint a new treasurer, please.
The president appoints a new treasurer.
Yes, please.
No, please. On this occasion, yes, it is true. The deputy finance committee chair will become the treasurer for a period of time. Do you know the period?
No, please.
Okay, that is 21 days. And then after the 21 days, another election process will be conducted for a new treasurer to be elected. So your answer was satisfactory, but not all that good.
Thank you very much for the correction.
Okay, Enoch.
Say.
What would be your advice to a college student who wants to negotiate a particular matter with the central administration?
Thank you very much. I'll advise him to go through the appropriate channel of getting information to the central administration. For example, I'll use a student from my department. So I'll inform him to communicate such information through the HOD, that's the head of department for my department. Please.
Okay, Enoch. So, on the occasion where you, as the senior treasurer, you decide to resign, or something happens along the way, and then you are removed from office, then it means that your office becomes vacant. So what happens after such occasion has happened?
The deputy financial chair, he serves as the acting treasurer for a period of time, and the president comes in consultation with his executive, comes in to appoint a new treasurer, please.
Okay, so the answer is satisfactory. The correct answer is you should go through accredited representatives of recognized groups within the university. That is in the handbook, Article 20 or Section 20 of it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you know about the ULS in the university?
Can you come again?
Do you know about the ULS in the university?
No.
So that is the university library system. Now your question. The ULS, now university library system, comprises some Jonah.
Or
S for Samson. S. University library system comprises some Jonah and how many satellite libraries in the university?
Please, two.
Two.
Yes, please.
Two. It's wrong. It's 31. And you can find it in the handbook, page 21. So the satellite libraries are the libraries at the departments, the colleges. Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope you are good.
By His grace,
this is the loudest voice we've heard so far. Maybe because you are in a cadet, that is why you brought that voice.
Thank you very much.
That is nice. All right, so you are from the hall. You are the current treasurer of SRC Hall, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So let's do a bit of education. The funds in the various halls are petitioned into two accounts. I'm sure you know those accounts. Educate us what goes into each of the two accounts. Just identify the accounts. Tell us what goes into those two accounts. They are just two.
For my what I know, we only have one account for the SRC, JCRC. We also have an account for the staff in the hall. That's what I do, please.
So tell us what goes into each of those accounts.
Okay. For the accounts in regards to the JC or on behalf of the JCRC, then account whereby the SRC treasurer serves as a signatory to the account, and the senior most treasurer in the hall is the hall master. And the SRC.
Please relax. Kindly listen very carefully for the last time. I want the funds that goes into each of these accounts.
The funds?
Yes. So take time and educate us accordingly.
With the JCRC accounts, we have transfers from or dues from central administration, and also any revenue, any generating revenue activities that the SRC undertakes, that's selling of souvenirs, also goes to the JCRC account.
So what are the other ones? Should the panel take a decision?
With the management account, they also receive an amount from the central administration, and also any activities that they perform. Let's say, giving accommodation to external parties when students are on vacation. Also, that money also goes to the management account.
I think that is very good.
Thank you very much.
You got that right. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Enoch. So this is your question. The university grading scale uses letter grades and corresponding numerical weightings which reflect the quality of performance. At what point is a student graded with an IC?
When the student has a mark below 50.
Please come again.
Please, can you come again with a question?
The university grading system uses letter grades and corresponding numerical weightings which reflect the quality of performance. At what point is a student graded with an IC?
when the students have no marks with the lecturer,
Come again.
when the students obtain 0 marks from the lecturer,
Okay, so the answer I'm looking for is that a student is graded an IC when he or she misses one or more components of an assessment. The follow-up question.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Who ensures that all ICs are rectified?
One has to do with the student himself as taking appropriate steps to go to the lecturer to maybe give a valid reason of why he misses such quizzes, please.
Okay, sure. So the student ensures that all ICs are rectified. So the first one, you can find it on page 35 in the academic policies and regulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Enoch,
Say.
please, you listen and you can write later, okay? There's a lot of quizzes for you to write. All right. If a student graduates from from UCC 10 years ago, and then the person was awarded a degree, we are saying that by the academic board, on what two grounds can the degree be called or be cancelled?
One, when the management finds out that the grade obtained by the student was through a fraudulent act, and also when the student owes a school fees.
Please, you are saying through a fraudulent act. Can you explain that? Because there are some key terms I want you to mention, and what you are saying is out.
Let's say, for instance, the student sends, let's say, in quotes, a poor to the examination hall, whereby, let's say, we know some of this examination hall has cameras. So let's say in the process of reviewing, what happens in the examination room, they found out that such student was copying his.
So you are saying that's exam malpractice then, is that not so?
Yes, please.
And then the last one, I ask you to mention two.
Okay, and the last one, when students owes the university school fees or any amount due the university.
Because of the fees, they will cancel or they will take away your degree. I think the second answer I would have wanted you to say is maybe when you impersonate, you understand, or better still, when you come in with a false qualification. Is that clear?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Enoch.
Yes, sir.
So the norm has no change. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. The first one is quarter. But when you get the first one wrong, automatically there's no need for the second question. Then we go to the third one. So when you get the second one to correct, that will be another quarter. When you get the last one correct, that is half. Are we good?
Yes, please.
So let's go. So I hope you know depreciation.
Yes, please.
You know depreciation.
Yes, please.
So when I have a question like freehold land, freehold land is not depreciated. Is it true or false? Think carefully, because it will cost you the second question. So think carefully.
Please, can you come again with the question?
Freehold land.
Yes.
The phrase normal freehold, HOLD, freehold land. It's not depreciated. Is it true or false?
I'll go in for false.
Okay, so automatically you forfeited the second question. So let's go to the last one, which is half. So the question for the second would have been, if you were to say true, would have asked you the rate of depreciation for freehold land, and the useful life. So if you have the first one wrong, there's no need for the second one. I hope you agree. So let's go to the final one. It's a case study, so pay attention. As a treasurer, the SRC has made losses, and they want to understand the category of loss made. You've been called upon to classify the losses. Into how many categories can you classify these losses? So you mentioned any two of this category for me as well.
For the first one, I'll go in for financial losses.
Term it right. You're a business student, so you should term it right.
Capital losses.
Capital losses. I will not take it.
Then I'll go in for losses due to inappropriate management of fund.
I will not take it. So for the we have 4 categories. The first category is cash deficiency. The second one is revenue losses. The third one is expenditure losses. And the fourth one is store and equipment losses. So your first question can be found on page 156 of the University Financial Regulation, Policy and Procedure.
Thank you
Then
very
the
much.
second one is page 94. So you can cross-check.
Emmanuel, good evening. Sorry. Enoch, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I hope you are fine.
By His grace, I'm fine.
Okay.
And you, please?
I'm also fine. So as usual, I'll take you outside university again into the media. Over the course of these few days, I'm sure, I think since yesterday or so, most of the major news outlets are announcing the release of a particular circular by MTN with regards to their Momo. Have you heard anything concerning that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so what is it? What does it say?
Increase in the amount of charges put or placed on the thresholds being withdrawn. That's 1,000 Ghana cedi. Initially, when an individual withdraws 1,000 Ghana cedi, the charges allocated to that amount is 10 cedis. 1,000 Ghana cedis or more, the charges allocated to that amount is 10 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
But
can you
they
please use the percentages? As instead of mentioning figures for the commission, I need you to use the percentages.
It's 10% increase.
10%.
Yes, please.
10. Okay, so and what is the new commission now? And the new threshold as well.
With the new threshold, currently I have no idea with the new threshold. It's on only the amount placed on withdrawals that's above 100 cedis, please.
Okay. So, according to the circular, the new threshold is 2,000 cedis instead of the previous 1,000, and the commission is 1%. So, anything below 2,000 cedis attracts a commission of 1%, and then after 2,000 cedis, it's 20 cedis flat.
Like I'm confused
So
with your
the answer is satisfactory. You had heard it, just that you couldn't provide the details.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Kwame.
Say.
I said we were going to come back, and I think we have to go back. You've been treasurer for SRC Hall.
Yes, please.
So you're currently the treasurer.
Yes, please.
Okay. I see that you have been doing well for yourself. I've asked this question almost the whole day, anybody who comes here for the portfolio of treasurer. What investment advice would you give the SRC? You were part of the committee that drew up the budget, so you have an idea of your expected income and then your projected expenditure. I am sure you have an idea whether there will be some surplus or not. So let's assume without admitting that the SRC has a surplus of 1 million Ghana cedis. And as the treasurer, they need your advice as to how to invest the 1 million Ghana cedis. What advice would you give them?
Thank you very much, sir. Okay. On campus, we face a lot of challenges. Number one among it is regarding to accommodation. Okay, so currently looking at the issue with the haircuts across most of the investment companies that we have, I would advise the SRC to go in for more accommodations or more hostels for students. With this, looking at it, since the number of students being admitted to the school increases day in and yearly, with this, I'm sure the SRC will be able to recoup its amount of investment together with their returns within a short given period of time.
What are the risks associated with that kind of investment? Or what risk do you envisage would be associated to that kind of investment?
Thank you, sir. Looking at the accommodation or building, coming in with a new hostel, since the SLC have it's a lifespan of 1 year, okay, the incoming executive may decide that looking at this investment that the SRC went in is no good, so they might boycott such an investment, which is going to lock up money.
So what can we do if, let's say, such an idea is upheld by the SRC Council and the student body as a whole? What do you think are some of the things that we can do to sustain that kind of investment, regardless of who comes into office the following year or the year after?
Thank you very much, sir. I believe we can have a consultative meeting so that we put in, looking at the kind of hostel that we want to put up. We can maybe sign a deal, let's say, for 5 years or 6 years. That any president that comes minds at least.
Did you say you sign a deal?
Yes, please.
What kind of deal?
We sign a contract, please.
With who?
At, let's say, council meeting.
Who and who are going to sign the contract?
The current president, together with dean of students and the council members, please.
No. You are the treasurer. There is some surplus. You've advised that we should go into a building project. Do you admit clearly that there are risks that are involved in a project or an investment like that? So I am asking you, what are some of the things that we can do to mitigate those risks? So that, for instance, from the example that you gave, if positions change or if the tenure of those who initiated that project ends and a new team comes on board, what do we need to do to make sure that there is continuity of that project?
One, we can increase the school fees of students in order to gather money for start project. And two, we can go for a loan.
No. You see, in the beginning, you were blabbing so much and telling me how good you were at drawing up strategies and implementing the strategies. And we've gone round. We are back to one of the things that you said is your skills. This is where I'm expecting you to tell me that there will be a strategy and then there will be an implementation plan. And then the implementation plan would have indicators and other things. So you understand why I said what you put there earlier on in your CV was just English? You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because if you are advising the SRC to invest, then you would have to develop a strategy for that investment. You would have to develop an implementation plan. you would have to evaluate the risk. So you have all that risk register and everything, and you're able to monitor the project. Anyway, thank you very much for coming. You hear from the committee.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. All right, so thank you very much. This brings us to the end of the vetting for day 1 of the 2023-2024 SRC local Nugs vetting at the Jane Nana Opoku Ajimine Auditorium, and also live on TV UCC and on ATL 100.5. Thank you so much. Those of you who were able to join us at the Jane Nana Opoku Ajimine Auditorium today, we want to say a very big thank you to all of you. As many as also joined us online on TV UCC, we want to say a very big thank you for keeping it with till now. We want to say thank you to all of you. We'll hand you over to TV UCC, and God willing, tomorrow we'll meet here again. Thank you.
Okay. Right, thank you, the chair. So people, this is where, of course, we're going to draw the curtain on today's edition of the 2023-2024 SRC local news vetting happening here at the Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman Auditorium at the Emi South Alangwe Center of University of Cape Coast. This is to show our appreciation for staying with us and, of course, making time to write to us here. Laws of life, GH. Abodie, is he sure he prepared for the vetting? Because he keeps writing more than the aspirant for the secretaryship. Hey, Freddie comes in. Abodie still idea. This one, it be military stealing. PDF, kindly send a shout out to my boss, Pendon, who is absent on the comment section for the first time. Oh, Pendon, how are you doing? I'm sure he'll be joining us very soon. Barrier Magdalene, PDF, please ask the Bill Rich guy if he is satisfied with the last candidate. Oh, okay, you're talking about the evangelist, huh? No hard feelings anyway. Right, your messages are here. PDF, please ask the, okay, I've taken this one about the this. Well, this is where we'll end it. God willing, tomorrow will come your way. In the morning will be time for the students who have filed nomination to contest for the Women's Commissioner position. And in the afternoon, it will be for the local news president. And that would also happen right here at the Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman Auditorium at the Emi South Alangwe Center of University of Cape Coast. I'm Louise Bakweni. You can call me the PDF. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do that. This is the time. Share the content for the world to also get to know what we are doing. Tomorrow, we'll come your way again. Stay with us and enjoy the rest of our programs. Thank you. Okay? We love you.